All my fellas, all my fellas, all my fellas.
We are live on the horizontal part, and now we should be live on the vertical also. So there's that.
Hey Abrox, how have you been? Welcome back.
सब एप्रोक्स क्या हाल चाल?
Hey Dio, how have you
बोलो
been?
बोलो डियो.
Welcome back.
How was your day? सबका दिन कैसा था? By the way, I'll have to keep a poll. Just a second. I'll start the stream. I mean, the stream is already started. Would you guys?
Hey Sayatama, how have you
सब
been? Welcome
શું
back.
ચાલે? હા મેં જોયું એટલે એમાં ખબર નહીં પણ એ જ ને પેલા બોલર ને કદાચ. Would you guys like so if I do a study? There's that. Nice one. અચ્છા એ મળ્યા તો ખરી પણ મને ખબર નહીં કે એમણે હવે કઈ રીતનું શું છે. And start the same poll over here. Let me know. नहीं नहीं यस यस आओ मैं चालू करता है. Okay, we are good. Let's see how it works. Resume from where we left off. Basically 6 got taken away as far as I remember. Is the stream lagging? I guess so. Right? Yeah, the stream's lagging on that part. On the vertical part it seems. I think should be good now. Let's just hope it works. Let's start. Let me know if the stream lags on the... Wait, I lost that, right? I lost my torch as far as I remember. Climb up. Okay, so that was a teleportation device. Wow. Have it, huh? You see all the shirts and stuff hanging just like that. That is what adds to the creepiness, I can say. And there we are. Is it going to break? It did not. I thought it would. And yeah, you'll also see micro stutters. Those are inevitable in this game. No matter how much do I try. Climb. See, okay. That's a creepy tune. Turn it on. Okay. So basically we can use this to our own advantage to turn on other TVs and stuff. Probably. There's that. Something down there. Seems like it. A police hat. Yeah, I think I've heard that tune somewhere. The one which is playing in the TV, I can say. There it is. Okay. I need to turn up the brightness on my monitor because it is way too dark. It wasn't I supposed? Okay. Move it that way. That should be good. also I need to add the view account. I don't know which view account it takes into account, so yeah. And it should come below. Let's continue. Seems like a reception area. Okay, spinny we go. We still don't know that what's going to happen. That there are still so many mysteries regarding the game. And Little Nightmares is also going to launch in 2025. Nice. I do hear some television in the next room. Let's check it out. Thought so. Okay, I cannot open it up. I have to make a run for it actually.
Poniard.
She's gonna go crazy, isn't she? Go. Nice. It explains the real life thing which we are trapped into right now. Lower attention spans and stuff. So yeah. See, even he is also. What? Bro just fell off. Wow. Take it. Don't fall. Why did that break though? That's the question. We did not find any glitchables. Why are they all jumping off, bro? What? Bro. That. Okay. We prevented a death ourselves. The recoil was real. My bad. I did not expect that. Okay, probably use that to electrocute him. Whoever the guy is behind. Come on. Nice. Thanks for liking the stream also, I liked it. Thank you. 2, 3. Is that a doll? Let's see. Now that's something.
Hey VED Sadhu.
सब वेदांत भाई
Welcome back.
तो मैसेज क्यों नहीं देखा तो बट मैं તો કરું જ છે એટલે મારું ભણું તો ખરી એ બહાને કારણ કે થોડુંક લોચાવાળું કામકાજ થઈ ગયું છે ભણવામાં We can, करूँ वो तो छोड़. I am ready. Okay, whenever I am home, I can do that. Hey. What is the bottle for? Resistance and no idea of what to start and from where. Content in Meadow seems too much for a question answer. બધું એક વખત કરી દીધું એટલા વધારે થાય કે ये तो नहीं आता मतलब कि इतना कुछ. Okay. The box, huh? I mean, yeah, that is also true. Go. Oh, he takes. Okay, I think I know what to do. I think I know what to do. Maybe I can insert that in between the this one. Seems like a bottle.
Zigard 50.
Go. No, no, no. I cannot open the door. I came from here only to fall down there. And that is empty. I need to bring in something. Let me just try to push this one. Grab it? Bro, grab it. Wow. Okay. Need to see if I can throw this back in there. Again, thank you for liking the stream also, I liked it. Take this. I have to do something. And see, there's the gnome image on the left hand side. Push it properly. It just changes the position all of a sudden. Okay, I think I can use that to break the window. And then use it to advance further. And the fact is, it's not breaking. Now it is. I have to climb up. Yes, I have to time it properly. That is what it seems. I have to time it, I have to time it. No, no. Bro, I threw it in a wrong spot.
Welcome to the
Sup?
stream, Elisa Shivaturina Chai Pilo.
Ericia, am I pronouncing it right? I hope so, I am. How was your day? All good? As for that, take this. Put there. And grab it. And okay. Now I have to time it most badly. Because I can Maybe I am missing something out. It's just I don't know what I'm missing on upon. Hey, we cannot go back there. It does. What am I doing wrong?
Ignite.
Do I have to take the ball or something? Maybe just drop down. Maybe. This part is confusing.
Welcome to the stream Musikus _UTs in Chai Pilo.
You mean like in Little Nightmares too? I mean, right now I don't have anything because we just saw 6 in the first part, right? But besides that, yeah, 6 because she was like sort of, you know, being too much savage when she got the powers and killed everyone. Okay, that was not it. I thought that was it, but meh. I'm missing out on something. But yeah, I think I did get some spoilers regarding her, which I won't tell on stream right now. I'm messing up something. Some specific part. Just right in front of my eyes, but I'm still like not getting it. There's the TV, there's the hole up there. I don't know how to go up on the hole. And there's also this package, the kind which we cannot break. Has some bottles in it. Nor can I butch this off. See. Sub Siddharth, kya haal
Hey
chal?
Siddharth,
All good?
how have you been? Welcome back.
And there's also the mirror thing, the glassware over here, like up there. But I don't think so. I mean, we can escape from that, but was by ठीक हूँ, I can say आज के लिए. See, that's in the right. But it's okay, all good. Can't I do that? Okay, I think I get it. 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 Get this up, and then we go in, and then we jump. Yes, that is what I'm trying. Oh. I was late. That is what I am thinking because I'm slacking off on studies a bit right now. My own studies. And there it is. So I thought that maybe doing that will also get me back up in shape. Because I took a break, you know, in between. That's why the streams were a bit long. Break the doll. No, I cannot break it. Let's see if we can complete the game tonight. Forgot. Okay, I had to jump directly. Okay. How did she do that? I think we have to get a... I have to remove the plug somehow. And maybe apply it back again. Probably. How does she know?
Hip up.
Can I grab this? No. This? Yeah, I think we'll be crushed. See? My bad. I did not know that was electricity water. Okay, I think I get it. What I have to do. Then I think I have to place it in a way from there I can go up again, turn that on. As for this, I have to place it in such a way that I can pass through there or to the TV. There's that. Use this as a gateway. Move properly. Why is it moving on its own? Keep it that way. Can I jump it? That's the main thing. I can. कल नहीं वो देखेंगे अब जब पॉसिबल हो कल तो FNF यस मच्छर there's that. Nice. This will be a chase now. I think so. I have to hide in somewhere. Because once I turn that off,
ttshk.
I have to distract them. See, he distracted himself. And go into the corner probably. And I can move this. There's a handle down there. कुछ नहीं सिद्धार्थ भाई, तुम बोलो। फिजिक्स था आज। I can't even move this. Okay. Hey, chase. Run. Wait, they were distracted but not all of them. हाँ, क्योंकि मतलब कोई है नहीं ना सिद्धार्थ. That is what I can say. Go. Nice. The fact we can travel from the multiplayer is good, but it's too exhausting, you know. That's why I keep the change. Hey, there she is. Come.
timber.
Hey Kush Jada. How have you been? Welcome back.
ઓકે થેન્ક્સ હા કહેવા માટે. I did not know. What? Thanks for letting me know. કોઈએ કીધું પણ નહીં કે નથી ચાલુ. શું યાર. I did not know. કોઈએ કીધું પણ નહીં. ઓકે બોલ ઘોષ બીજું તો બધું એક વખત તો થઈ ગયું પણ હવે રિવિઝનનું મેઇન છે. હવે એટલું આમ કંઈ ખાઈશ આમ પેલો આઈડિયા નથી કેવો ટોપિક યુનિના પ્રમાણે કરવાનો. એટલે આમ તો છે પણ બધું ભેગું હોય ને મગજમાં એટલે એ ભાઈ જોવું પડે. Is he in a television right now? Wait, what? अच्छा बट एक રીતે સારું because કહેવાય ને આમ રિટેન વધારે રહેશે that is what I can say. एज तुम्हारे मुंह में घी शक्कर कुश ए ओके the tone changed all of a sudden. At least, but still, I won't be that much. Okay, we're in a time loop. Or maybe close this. See? It still opens up. This is the confusing part. Okay. There's that. And maybe go for the music. Follow the music.
Geheim.
She's there. No. And maybe I can close this door. But I'm stuck. No worries, no worries. Madhya Pashi. Bye bye. Follow the music. Okay, I have to. Got it. This one. Okay. Wait, that's 6? Try. Why am I going to break this? He'll be mad about it. Why she? She'll catch me, she'll catch me. She seems angry. What is with her arms? Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, okay. There's that. We were trying to save her, wasn't we? Okay, that hurt. I think what I have to do. What's that organ? I have to call her all the way in. Wait, another time loop. Why is she scared though? There's that. Finally. Why is she saving it? That hard. She gets scared by it. Yeah. I thought I could use it multiple times. Why is she scared by our scream? That's the thing. Is she turning back into a normal form? Okay, she's back. Okay, that's an eye. It's very close. Is that what the eye symbol means? Run, 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 run. She's waiting for us. Don't let go. Don't let go. Oh, that's mean. She could have saved us. What is this place though? Is it because we broke her toy? Wait, what? Was that us? Was that the reason why we caught her? Even the chair grew up. That was us. Then how come we are stuck in a time loop but she's not?
Kingler.
It means that if you are caught, then technically we were saved. That was us. Six actually betrayed us. What was the reason, we don't know. Or if she was evil from the start. And the fact we just kept on waiting for so many years. The fact that we saved her, then ouch. I really did not expect that. I can. It's as if she took revenge for breaking her toy. Basically, Prince of Persia warrior within, but here he does not succeed, whereas in warrior within, the prince succeeds in changing his fate, sort of, by replacing his older self. The fact that it takes so many people to make a single game, the credits are the sole proof of it. I'll have to go through this. Finally. I did not discover any glitch or any hack. We have to look at the whole story explanation. Something which should work out in short. Let's see. Explanation. Which one should we watch? $11 months ago, 3 years ago. Maybe we can watch the recent video.
Hey guys, Super Horror Bro Mike here, and in today's video, we finally have some answers to our burning questions surrounding the mysteriously horrifying world of Little Nightmares, and some of its iconic characters. These answers have come from information contained within the new Little Nightmares audio series, The Sound of Nightmares, for which there are 6 episodes total. Now, while I will be touching on the main plot points of this audio series in today's video, I do strongly recommend listening to them for yourselves.
Wait. Let me just reduce it to this for now.
As not only do they contain a ton of lore, they're also really well put together, especially if you're a fan of spooky storytelling. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's dive into a quick synopsis of the Sound of Nightmares story and characters, and then afterwards we'll take a look at how the world of Little Nightmares actually works based on this new information. It's finally time to get some answers.
Wait, this is the sounds. I think we have to watch this. And I'll speed it up a bit.
How do we know Little Nightmares 2 takes place in the weeks and months after the story of Very Little Nightmares? Well, there are several reasons to make this connection. If we look at the digital comics, which acts as a precursor to the events of the sequel, we see Six without raincoat and looking as if she just stepped off a raft at the end of a mobile game. She is captured by the Hunter, a haunting sight that her would-be companion Mono witnesses, and seemingly the reason he sets off to free Six at the beginning of Little Nightmares 2. When we finally discover Six, there are several key points of interest found within her prison room. First of all, the music box, an item comforting her during her imprisonment. We see a representation of this music box at the end of the game, Monster 6 holding it with extreme importance. In fact, the Signal Tower uses this box to corrupt and bind her to its spell. Although referenced in the first Little Nightmares game, this scene in Little Nightmares 2 seems to be Six's first introduction to the item and the reason for its hold over her. She connected with it as a coping mechanism during a time of great emotional trauma in her childhood. Also look to the chalk sketches on the walls, presumably the work of Six while being held here. The tally marks are easy enough to explain. They signify a passing of time, maybe days, weeks, or months. Six has, after all, been here for a while. We also see Six has drawn an image of the Signal Tower. This drawing is almost an exact match for those scenes sketched by the bullies within the schoolhouse. To me, this suggests the Signal Tower has already began calling to Six and hypnotizing her with its corrupt transmission, much as we see with the other wretched creatures of this world. In fact, later in the game, as the two adventurers pass by the tower, Six stares up at it as if under a spell. This may well be why she was so easily manipulated, distorted and corrupted while held prisoner within. The tower already held sway over her mental state. But most interesting of all, the sketches are for people we have seen before. People with their faces scratched out, as if to suggest they are now dead. The sketch on the far right represents a person falling. Remember back to the final moments of Very Little Nightmares, the girl in the yellow raincoat who fell to her death at the hands of the Pretender. It seems this sketch represents her. But then, what about the others? Well, for now we must move on, but don't worry, we'll be back to revisit these sketches at the end of this video. You may be asking, what about the yellow raincoat? Why did Six not have this key item if this game follows on directly from the events of Very Little Nightmares? This is actually fairly easy to speculate on. The main point to bear in mind is that while we see Six about to leave the shore of the nest aboard the driftwood raft, we never see her collect up the floating raincoat. It is therefore logical to conclude this raincoat took the same tide as Six and washed up ashore near the Pale City. However, unlike Six, it was not collected up by the Hunter, but rather a denizen of the city itself. Eventually, its wearer was either taken by the Signal Tower, once again leaving the coat behind, or it was simply discarded. After all, these city streets are full of discarded junk at every turn. This is why Six finds it far from shore, yet looks on it as if it holds some connection to her previously, reminding her of the child who helped her escape not too long ago. One more thing that really connects Six to the events of Very Little Nightmares preceding this game can be seen by her uncomfortable demeanor while riding the floating door across the river mouth here. It makes sense when we remember she had recently escaped a traumatic experience within the nest using the exact same means, an escape method which led to her capture by the Hunter. Skipping to the end of the adventure, Six is taken by Thin Man and imprisoned once again, this time within the walls of the Signal Tower itself. Here, its distorted signal twists and corrupts Six in ways all too familiar to anyone who has encountered monsters such as Roger the Janitor. The Signal Tower uses Thin Man's power to warp and distort reality, which ravages the world and does exactly the same to poor Six. More importantly, it pulls from her memories to create a prison for her. While examining the items found within this room, many look eerily familiar. Again, we will revisit this concept at the end of this video. Mono eventually manages to cure Six by destroying the music box, an item, as stated before, which binds her to this monstrous form. This leads to the signal tower revealing its true form, a living mass of flesh made up from the bodies of those it consumes. While escaping, Mono drops behind Six and she grabs his hand to prevent him falling, but decides in a cruel turn of events to let her friend fall. Most likely because she senses the darkness calling him from within, and has witnessed Mono's dangerous powers, which she feels threatened by. Of course, Six unwittingly dooms the world by doing this. Mono is imprisoned by the signal tower and his powers used to distort and warp the world throughout space and time. This creates a time paradox where Mono has always been Thin Man and so calls out to his past self so he may be freed from this prison within the tower and finally have a chance to break the cycle, saving the world and its inhabitants from this terrible fate. Six leaves the signal tower, but part of her now belongs to it. As seen with the glitching remains of the ghost children we find throughout Little Nightmares 2, her connection to Mono and the tower separates Six's soul from her body. Now incomplete, the loss of Six's soul leaves a great empty void, a void which must be satisfied. This is the birth of Six's hunger, a hunger we contend with throughout the very first Little Nightmares game, confirming Little Nightmares 2 is indeed the second game in the timeline and a prequel to the events of the original. We also note that Six's spirit energy looks down at a poster of the Maw, suggesting the TV6 exits the tower through is either aboard the Maw or she is given the idea to head there in order to gain access to the powers she needs to be cured, powers she eventually procures from Sorceress the Lady. With this information in hand, the first game is pretty self-explanatory. It is the third in the timeline, continuing Six's story as her hunger begins to destroy her from within. The ending of Little Nightmares 2 also sheds light on a possible explanation for the shadowy figure of Six that watches over her each time she feasts. This is the half of her lost after escaping the signal tower. This hunger requires soul energy to properly quench its thirst, replacing elements of the soul Six herself has lost. This explains why, in a cruel twist of fate, Six eats the gnome child and not the sausage it offers up to her. It also explains why, upon killing the lady and consuming her dark magic, Six then uses said power to drain the life force from everyone else aboard the Maw. She has become a monster herself, a monster with a never-ending hunger, sucking the life from anything that stands in her way. So, let's tie up some loose ends and wrap up this video. Returning to Six's chalk drawings in the hunter's house, and things suddenly click. Starting at the signal tower and working backwards reveals our timeline. It shows past and future, but not yet present. To explain, look to the far right, and we see events as they happen before Little Nightmares 2, the death of the girl in the yellow raincoat as she plunged to a watery grave. Then we see tally marks representing a passage of time. These lead to an empty gap. But why is this empty? Well, because it marks the current period of time for which the outcome is not yet determined. But perhaps this could be filled in with Mono, like so. Moving on, we see another passing of time and then a drawing of the runaway boy and his gnome. This was the character found in the DLC Secrets of the Maw, which ran in sync with the events of Six's adventure in the original game. Another character who died by Six's hand as seen earlier in the video. Finally, another shorter passage of time and the death of the lady. This brings us bang up to date with the story of Little Nightmares as we know it, and everything ties in to that image at the back of this room, the signal tower itself. What's interesting about the placement of the signal tower drawing is how it's sketched upon a different wall surface. To me, this makes sense as the signal tower exists on a separate plane of existence within time and space, a dimension where time is fluid and past, present and future are as one. This explains why we see items from Six's past and future within this same room. Take for example her suitcase from the Maw. It doesn't exist in her memories as of the story of Little Nightmares 2, but can still appear in her prison within the tower due to its ability to draw from events still to occur. Look to these portraits for example, and again we see a timeline represented right to left. At the far right we see Six as a child, cowering in her raincoat. Then, in the centre, an image representing the lady, her face scratched away to represent her demise. On the left, we see a horrifying face, but one that seems familiar in a way. It looks similar to that of a granny found in the depths of a moor. I had theorized previously that this granny is what would eventually become of the lady as her powers ravaged her body over time. The pretender from Very Little Nightmares, the next in line to take the lady's place after she herself took the place of the previous granny. Again, it's all one big cycle. It seems as Six consumed the lady's power, she may be in for a similar fate, to become disfigured and monstrous over time, this portrait showing Six in the future. Perhaps if Little Nightmares 3 does happen, we will witness this horrifying transformation, unless Mono finds a way to escape his Thin Man fate and break the time paradox that is. One question remains: how is Six able to draw from memories of her future? Memories she shouldn't yet have access to. Well, if we think about the names Six and Mono and what they represent in literal terms, we can jump to some logical conclusions. Mono means one, only, or single. This makes sense as the origin of this terrifying world falls to Mono and his fate as Thin Man within the Signal Tower. There is only one Mono, and he is the ground zero event which triggers everything before and after. While running toward the door Thin Man is trapped behind, if we pay close attention we can see the number 6. This suggests that this door is number 6, and therefore the 6th cycle within this paradox. If so, then 6 has her name due to being the catalyst for this particular cycle. She triggers the events that doom this world each time when handing over Mono to the Signal Tower's control. If this theory is correct, then 6 is simply the 6th of her kind, with 5 prior versions existing in different failed timelines. So, with this concept in mind, we can conclude 6 may retain faint memories of her 5 prior incarnations. Of course, this is a stretch, but this is the only way the rest of this theory makes sense, and why else feature the number 6 on the door here, and use such numerical terms for both protagonists. Either way, that head-scratching conundrum brings us to the end of this video looking at the timeline of the Little Nightmares universe. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror-related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Hey guys, Super Horror Bro Mike here, and in today's video we venture into a living nightmare as we join 2 children fighting to survive a world full of monstrous dangers at every turn. This is the story of Little Nightmares 2 Explained. Before beginning, again from the confines of the Signal Tower. So it seems strange that Six would let him fall, and on purpose no less. However, if we consider the kind of person that Six is, things make a little more sense. You see, Six has always looked out for her own survival first and foremost, and when we consider the events of Little Nightmares 2 and the horrors she encountered while accompanying Mono, it is logical to conclude she grew tired of being put in harm's way. While Mono had saved her, he had also exposed her to many very perilous encounters. Add to that the fact we know Six is not a very trusting person, and after the hardships she has been subjected to, who can blame her? And if we pay close attention to the scenes in which Mono attempts to reach the door within the Signal Dimension, we can see the real reason he is ejected from these television sets is because Six pulls him out, sensing he is being drawn to something sinister. Knowing Mono possesses such radical powers, the same powers as Thin Man himself no less, would be a major red flag. It is likely Six felt threatened by Mono's presence and was worried he may turn on her at some point. Better to leave him behind and take no chances. But then, why did she return to him at all? Well, look to the exit. It is made up of a static portal, much like those television screens that Mono uses his powers to transition through at various points during their adventure. Six was never able to travel through these screens herself because she did not possess such power. If we recall the ending of the original Little Nightmares, you will remember that Six drained the lady of her powers when she herself was powerless. This sequence seems to mirror that scene. Mono, now powerless, hangs in the balance, and Six returns to him and absorbs just enough of his power to allow her to escape without the aid of her newfound friend. We are given confirmation that Six obtains an element of Mono's power in the game's true ending, unlocked by collecting up all 18 glitching remains. Here we witness Six exiting the
So there is a secret ending.
signal tower through a television screen, much like Mono does. However, this consumption of power has one terrible consequence. It causes Six to glitch herself. Her body cannot handle this new energy, and so while Six is able to channel the power of others, it changes her every time. In this first instance, Six loses her soul, the good she had within. Her moral compass is removed, and in its place a hunger to fill the void. A hunger we know all too well. That's right, Little Nightmares 2 is no sequel, but a stealth prequel to the events of the original Little Nightmares. Six warps to the Maw, where she now carries an unquenchable desire to fill the void left by her split soul, a hunger which led to some unfortunate consequences. So Little Nightmares 2 leads directly into the sequel, which we already played back in 2017. Mind blown, right? Now his use has been served, Six discards Mono and leaves him to the mercy of the signal tower. But as she escapes, Six doesn't quite realise the horrifying ramifications of her actions. Mono becomes trapped at the bottom of the tower, amongst the flesh and eyes, the signal tower then harnessing his remaining power and channeling itself through him.
Hello.
Mono takes a seat and returns the tower to its fake form, hiding its grotesque appearance behind brick and mortar once again. There is no happy ending here, no escape for poor Mono. Over the years, we see him make a chilling transformation. The signal tower corrupts his body and mind. It uses his powers to broadcast out to the world and drain those of their life force, bending their bodies into hideous forms through the distorted signal it transmits. Mono becomes Thin Man. He has always been Thin Man. The story of Little Nightmares 2 is a never-ending cycle. Mono and his powers, exploited though they may be, are the cause of all of the evil and suffering found in all three Little Nightmares games. Six's betrayal turned Mono's pure and innocent mind into one seething with anger and hatred, a hatred the tower now uses to its advantage. You may ask how Thin Man, who we will now refer to as Thin Mono, exists in the same time period as Young Mono. After all, the two even threw down against one another. This is fairly easy to explain if we consider how a transmission works. The signal tower puts out a broadcast, but a broadcast has no particular tie to any time zone or period. It is simply a frequency, and as long as there is something to transmit that frequency, then anything living within it is free to travel across time, existing in a separate dimension altogether. So, as Thin Man, Mono is able to travel between past, present, and future at will. He simply required someone to free him from this prison, and thus travels back to his childhood to try and trick his younger self into opening the door that imprisons him, freeing him from the signal tower's control and releasing him into the outside world. Here, Thin Mono attempts to destroy Six and Young Mono, as their demise would mean an end to this cycle. It would stop Six from betraying his younger self and prevent his eternal imprisonment inside the tower. It would also save the world from eternal damnation. Unfortunately, Mono is always bested by his younger, stronger self, and so the cycle repeats forever, and Mono remains forever trapped. And with that, we have come to the end of this very long and very in-depth video. This is actually far longer than I had planned it to be, but hopefully you enjoyed it and now understand the world of Little Nightmares 2 a little better. Also, it should be said once again that there are many interpretations of this story, and this is simply mine. If you enjoyed watching today, remember to leave a like, comment down.
The part 3 was explained as far as I remember.
Hey guys, Super Horror Bro Mike here, and in today's video, we are taking a closer look at Little Nightmares 3. The game was announced yesterday at Gamescom event Opening Night Live, where a gameplay trailer was debuted. Publisher Bandai Namco kindly gave me access to an extended hands-off preview of Little Nightmares 3, featuring a developer commentary and 15-minute gameplay demonstration. So in this video, I'm going to relay all of those juicy details I learnt while watching that presentation, as well as showing off some brand new footage to boot. So with that said, sit back, relax, and let's take a closer look at Little Nightmares 3. Little Nightmares 1 and 2 were developed by Tarsier Studios, who moved away from the series after completing their work on the sequel when they were acquired by Embracer Group. This left many fans wondering if the series would continue, and if so, who would be developing future Little Nightmares games. We now have an answer. Supermassive Games, the studio behind narrative horror hits Until Dawn, The Quarry, and Bandai Namco's own anthology franchise The Dark Pictures, are taking point on this third installment of Tiny Terror. Supermassive previously worked on the enhanced port of Little Nightmares 2, which brought the game to next generation systems, so they do have some experience working on the Little Nightmares franchise. It's also encouraging to see a horror-based studio take the reins in Tarsier's stead, ensuring proceedings stay suitably creepy. You probably noticed in the trailer that there were two children journeying through this nightmarish world together. This harkens back to the design of Little Nightmares 2, which saw both Six and Mono working together to overcome the perils of the Pale Sissy. However, unlike Little Nightmares 2, this third game allows for two players to face their childhood fears together, though Bandai Namco did stress that the game is still playable solo with an AI companion. As noted, there are two protagonists central to the story of Little Nightmares 3. These are brand new characters, each with their own particular skill set and playstyle. A little girl dressed in a green jumpsuit and pilot helmet called Alone, and a little boy named Lo who sports a blue cape and Plague Doctor style mask. Lo and Alone each have their own unique items, both of which have a variety of uses. Alone carries a wrench, which he can use to break into otherwise blocked off areas, and also power up ancient machinery around the environment. Lo, on the other hand, is equipped with a bow, which he uses to shoot down items, attack enemies, and activate hard-to-reach contraptions. One sequence in the demo showed how these two miniature heroes work together during combat, Lo shooting down insects who could then be splattered beneath Alone's mighty wrench. Another sequence illustrated how the two worked together to solve puzzles, as Alone cranked a giant gear with her wrench, which bridged a gap in the floor, allowing Lo to quickly run across and then use his bow and arrow to jam up the mechanism and hold the floor in place so his companion could also cross. It's this teamwork that will make figuring things out in co-op so much fun, as two players play to the strengths of their respective character to navigate the deadly worlds within the spiral. More on this later. There were also some other fun gameplay systems shown off in the demo, including a sequence where the children happen upon a pair of umbrellas and are then able to fly upwards and float through the necropolis using hot air bellowing from the desert below them. You'll immediately notice that this demo stage of Little Nightmares 3 is set in a far brighter location than any we've seen before, a sunlit desert known as the Necropolis. This is just one of several locations the pint-sized duo will explore while trapped in a horrifying overworld known as the Nowhere. Located within the nowhere is the Spiral, a collection of nightmarish lands born from disturbed delusions. From screenshots provided and shots seen in the trailer, it seems these worlds will include a doctor's office and a carnival-like world in addition to the desert necropolis I experienced in the preview. In the demo, the pair enter the necropolis through a mirror, a method of exploration akin to the television travel we experienced in Little Nightmares 2. It seems these mirrors will be portals to different environments. After making their way through a sandstorm, the two explorers reach the ruins of an ancient civilization, where the inhabitants have all been turned to stone. The eerie buildings now lay dormant, aside from the occasional crow and swarms of flesh-eating beetles that now nest within this desert ghost town. The necropolis was described as a city of eternal energy and certain death. Later on in the demo, the two children make their way into the depths of the catacombs beneath the ancient city. Here, a new danger presents itself in the form of quicksand, which consumes our heroes if they linger for too long. At the end of the demo, the two children awake from their nightmare within the Spiral world. In fact, the room the two wake inside looks eerily similar to the hospital location where we met the Mad Doctor during the events of Little Nightmares 2. It might be time to start theorizing as to what all of this means, and it seems like fans of the franchise might have some help putting the puzzle pieces together. A new podcast titled The Sound of Nightmares has begun steadily releasing, and promises to answer some of our burning questions about the mysterious world of Little Nightmares and how everything connects. You can check out the first 2 episodes of the podcast right now, and I actually worked as a writer on episode 2, which was a real pleasure and I'm super happy with how it turned out. So I just want to give a massive shout out to Bandai Namco for that opportunity. The final thing to discuss from the sneak peek I was shown comes in the form of a new monster known as Monster Baby. This is a gigantic doll-like creature who stalks our explorers through the necropolis, smashing down entire walls and tearing off rooftops with its stubby hands in an attempt to grab the children. The Monster Baby seems to be responsible, at least in part, for the fate of this world, turning anyone who comes in contact with the light of its eyes to stone. This is very similar to the all-seeing eyes that plagued Six during her adventure through the mall. Of course, Monster Baby is just one of many new monsters we are to encounter in the story of Little Nightmares 3. So far, Little Nightmares 3 looks very promising. I did wonder how the series would continue under the guidance of a new studio, but so far it looks like it's in safe hands. Supermassive Games are a talented team of veteran developers, with both an extensive background working in the horror genre and, more importantly, with Little Nightmares. They are building on the concept presented in Little Nightmares 2, with 2 protagonists and now offering the chance to play solo or with a friend. Low and Alone are 2 protagonists who seem to have their own personalities and unique abilities, and the promise of an expanded game world that switches between multiple realms is exciting for fans of a Little Nightmares universe. I'll be sure to keep a close eye on the continued development of this new entry as it makes its way towards release sometime in 2024. For now, let me know what you think of this new gameplay footage and information on Little Nightmares 3. And if you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror-related content. Thanks for watching, and I'll
And true ending.
Hey guys, Super Horror Bro Mike here, and in today's video, we finally have to overcome nightmares on the main to them to get away, and then after information. The Sounds of Nightmares is set within a region known as the Counties. While the Counties certainly has its fair share of peculiarities, it does not seem to be set in the same twisted realm we experience while playing the Little Nightmares games. And that's because it's not, but more on this later. Within the Counties lives a young girl whose real name we eventually learn to be Ruth, but was given the nickname No One by bullies at her school. Therefore, while in the counsellor's presence, Ruth refers to herself as Noon, a nicer variant of that cruel moniker. Noon fell sick after coming into contact with a life-threatening water parasite. The parasite almost killed Noon, but before it could, she received a miracle cure. This cure suddenly shone a spotlight on Noon. She began appearing on TV with the doctor who had cured her, paraded around like a lab experiment for people to celebrate. In fact, even the bullies at her school began treating her differently. She was now a local star within the Counties. However, this miracle cure may have neutralized the parasite within Noon's body, but it also came with a string of nasty side effects. The child began experiencing horrifyingly vivid nightmares, where she was able to taste, smell, and even experience pain, as if her dreams were a reality. She also began to experience severe headaches, which grew increasingly worse as time went by. And while the parasite may have been neutralized, she felt it lived on inside her, pinching and prodding at her organs, and itching at her skin. Noon felt as if she no longer belonged within her own body. As a result of these side effects, Noon's parents decided to commit her to the county's psychiatric institute, where they hoped she would be able to receive treatment that could cure her of these ailments. She was referred to a counsellor working on the children's ward named Otto. Otto vows to try his best to help Noon work through her trauma and eventually cure her, so she can return to her parents. However, as Noon begins recounting her nightmares to him during their therapy sessions, Otto gradually becomes more interested in using Noon for his own research purposes. You see, many years ago as a child, Otto lost his beloved sister Cece. She was snatched away by a shadowy figure he calls the Ferryman, a character who those deeply invested in the Little Nightmares lore will no doubt remember. Noon refers to the Ferryman as the Candleman on account of his facial appearance, which she explains looks like melted candle wax. After discovering that Noon has encountered Cece's Ferryman, Otto sets his mind on finding a way to meet the mysterious figure who stole away his sister all those years ago. Throughout the 6 episodes of the show, Noon tells Otto of her nightmares, which take place in a number of spooky locales, each inhabited by their own set of monstrous creatures. There's a prison, a bathhouse, a shopping mall, a circus, a sewer system, and a factory. When Otto learns that Noon can experience senses within these nightmares, he theorizes that she may be crossing over to an alternate reality, a dimension removed from that of the counties in the waking world. This is confirmed to him when, on a number of occasions, while monitoring Noon sleeping by night, he witnesses her vanish into thin air, only to reappear sometime later. And so Otto, in his pursuit to seek out the Ferryman and hope to reunite with his long-lost sister Cece, grows increasingly dangerous and unhinged. Casting aside his desire to protect and cure Noon, and instead pushing her to breaking point as he attempts to use her to find a way into the nightmare realm she refers to as the Nowhere. As the therapy sessions go on, Otto becomes less and less likable, and we feel increasingly sorry for Noon, whose health is deteriorating rapidly. In fact, after the doctor carries out x-rays on Noon's head, he discovers a tumour growing on her brain. This has been the cause of her headaches. Curiously, Noon's headaches and illness are not present while she explores the Nowhere realm, as if she leaves them behind when travelling between dimensions. In the Nowhere, she is a stronger version of her waking world self. However, she also becomes drawn to the darkness, as if influenced by the sinister world she explores. The show ends with Otto attempting to travel inside the Nowhere with Noon. He hooks her up to a dream apparatus and uses it to tune into the frequency of her nightmare, opening a portal between dimensions. By doing so, he is able to decipher what the ferryman has said to Noon while the two communicated within the nowhere. The ferryman is trying to save Noon, taking her away from the waking world of the counties and into the nowhere for good, saving her from Otto's dark experiments and curing her of the tumor growing inside her head. Otto has been the real monster this entire time. He tries one last effort to enter the nowhere with her, by hooking them both up to the dream apparatus so he can share the child's nightmare. However, while doing so, Noon vanishes, taken by the ferryman for good, just like Otto's sister Cece was all those years earlier. Enraged, Otto vows to discover a way into the dream world and moves on to his next victim, another child patient named Ethan, with a plan to use the boy in a similar fashion, desperate to access the nowhere. This is where the show ends, and a potential season 2 would most likely pick up. With the story now explained in broad strokes, let's take a look at how, based on the information at hand, the world of Little Nightmares actually works. We now know there are two separate realities: the waking world, or counties, in which the story of Little Nightmares takes place, and a nightmare realm called the Nowhere. The latter is the setting of the previous Little Nightmares games, as well as the location of the dreams Noon recounts to her counselor Otto. This is why in each of the Little Nightmares games, we witness the child protagonist wake up at the beginning of their adventure. They have just made the transition from the waking world into the Nowhere. Before waking in the Nowhere, each child crosses through an in-between dimension. Noon refers to this as the halfway place, a portal made up of thick grey mist. This can be seen at the beginning of both Little Nightmares 1 and 2, and represents Six and Mono's crossings respectively. Once the child exits the halfway place through the door before them, they cross the ethereal threshold between dimensions. It seems only children who have experienced extreme trauma while in the waking world become susceptible to the call of the Nowhere, falling in tune with its transmission, and eventually, after encountering the ferryman, are taken away from the dangers of the waking world and trapped inside the Nowhere realm for good. It's also worth noting that the Nowhere appears to be a fractured dimension, one that is split rather than linear like the waking world. From information given to us from the latest game, Little Nightmares 3, we are told that a pocket dimension known as the Spiral exists within the Nowhere. The Spiral seems to be a vast collection of smaller worlds within the Nowhere realm, and the child protagonists, Lo and Alone, have the ability to use mirrors within the Nowhere to travel through the different dimensions of the Spiral, moving from place to place. Noon refers to the Spiral as a sea of eyes, floating above an endless mist, each one a doorway to a different land. This suggests the Nowhere is more of a construct rather than a singular place, and its fluid nature within the Spiral could explain why things that remain there for too long often end up decidedly twisted and misshapen. However, while the Nowhere is a dangerous place too, full of monsters who seem drawn to torment the children who end up there, the children of the Nowhere are less than defenseless. If they survive long enough in this realm, they are drawn to its darkness and able to harness great powers. We saw this with Mono, who was able to manipulate the transmissions sent out by the signal tower to bend time to his will and travel through the very TV signals themselves, eventually becoming a monster of his own, the Thin Man. Six was also drawn to darkness, eventually able to draw the power from the Lady of the Moor and to use these powers to suck the life force from the very creatures who once preyed upon her. So in this realm, the child victims are provided a way to defend themselves against their predators, eventually becoming some of the most powerful inhabitants of the Nightmare realm. This seems to be the intention of the ferryman, who acts as a protector, though perhaps a fairly misguided one. We have seen the ferryman protect children before in the Little Nightmares comic series that released alongside the original game, most notably during the North Wind chapter of this miniseries. Though we must keep in mind that these comics were stated not to be considered canon by the creators. The ferryman is also referred to as a guardian between realms, and appears to be a gatekeeper that can grant or deny passage between the waking world and the Nowhere. There is one more element to the Nowhere we have yet to discuss. the monsters themselves. This is slightly less clear, but if we apply the theory that children who experience great trauma at the hands of adult tormentors in the waking world become in tune with the nowhere realm and eventually end up transcending over to it, then the same logic can be applied to their tormentors. It would seem these monsters are the twisted nowhere versions of the sinful adults from the waking world, paying for their crimes by taking on horrifying new forms in this alternate reality, forever seeking to prey on the children trapped there with them. In fact, the ferryman addresses Otto during the closing moments of the 6th podcast episode, telling him he is too long in the tooth to travel over as his sister Cece did, but if he pays a high enough toll of torment, he may cross over as an adult. Basically warning Otto that if he continues to harm the children in his care, then he may eventually be welcomed into the nowhere as one of its monstrous denizens. Perhaps Otto did continue on his crusade of terror, and eventually became the ferocious doctor we encountered during the events of Little Nightmares 2. While nothing is confirmed, the Sounds of Nightmares does hint at Otto's sister Cece being none other than beloved Little Nightmares protagonist 6. While Otto recalls his memories of his sister Cece in episode 5, we even hear 6 in the background humming the music box theme. This kicks in while Otto examines something within his closet, perhaps a memento of his lost sister. However, while I suspect the story is telling us there is a connection between Otto and 6, for now this is just speculation on my part. Though if this theory is true, then it does mean that unlike the counties within the waking world, the nowhere exists on a different timeline. One that is non-linear, where time has no real meaning at all, and simply exists in its own vacuum. And with that, we've come to the end of this summary of everything we can learn from listening to the Little Nightmares audio series, The Sounds of Nightmares. In future videos, I may expand on these concepts with fresh theories about both the nowhere and the characters trapped within it, as well as how these theories may apply to the story of upcoming game Little Nightmares 3. But for now, I hope you enjoyed watching this video and found it both entertaining and informative. If you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next
Wow. The game was amazing. Well, I guess this is the end. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye bye.